Today's the great feast day of St. Catherine of Alexandria. She was a martyr in the early church. She wanted to live like a nun, and at that time that was very revolutionary. Person wanted to marry her. She was very wealthy, very smart, very beautiful, but she said, that's not the life for me. And ultimately they became so angry they tortured her and ultimately ended up taking her life, which she gladly gave to stand up for Jesus and for following him. While they were torturing her, she told them about Jesus. She told them what she believed. She told them why she believed it. And she was so convincing, she became the patron saint, one of the patron saints of philosophers and those who debate as well. She was such a convincing speaker. So in light of St. Catherine today in the readings, I want you to ask yourself a question. If you're going to summarize the way the universe works in one word, what word would you pick? You could probably answer it in a couple different ways, but one word that literally describes everything that I think is especially important for you as you begin your season, but just also as a young man trying to figure life out. You could describe the whole world with the word sacrifice. The universe works by sacrifice. You have to give up something lower or something that's important to you for the higher good that's more important. You have to sacrifice something for the greater good. The ultimate sacrifice was what? Jesus on the cross. He was trying to achieve the greatest possible good. He gave up the biggest sacrifice, and for the people who deserved it the least, which is us, because we were the ones who are making him make that sacrifice. So it's literally the most perfect sacrifice that could ever be made. And now we do that every single day. You're going to be doing that in class. You make a sacrifice of your time. You would rather be sleeping or doing whatever else, but your parents pay for you to go here, somebody's paying for you to go here, so you make a sacrifice of your time and your effort. Your hockey season, it might not be a sacrifice like Jesus on the cross or Catherine of Alexandria where you have to die, or even though hockey's a pretty tough sport, but most likely it's going to be the little things, like this widow in the gospel. She put in 2 coins, which was nothing. It was like 2 pennies. But Jesus said she gave more than everybody else because she gave from her heart. She gave everything she had. It wasn't a lot, but she gave what she had. So for you, each and every day, and especially when you go to practice, I know what it's like when you're tired. You don't want to put in your best effort. You would prefer to not make a big sacrifice. But that's a team that will ultimately not do well. If each person doesn't make an extra sacrifice when nobody else is looking, that team won't do well. But it's the teams, for instance, the Dodgers, who we don't like them, but they won this year. And I knew they were going to win because when I saw some interviews with them, they talked about when they lost in the past, they knew they should have won. They knew they've had the best team for a couple of years. But they weren't making the little sacrifices of going the extra mile for the greater good of winning. And they said this year they went out of their way. They hung out together more. They weren't wasting time like fooling around, going to parties. They made the extra sacrifice. I said, this team's going to win. And that's what happened. So you guys have the chance to do that as well. But each man has to make their sacrifice. With that said, that's what we're here today. We're offering the sacrifice of Jesus on the altar, asking him to put some of his love, some of his strength, some of his courage. He's going to put that into your heart, especially as you receive Holy Communion. And then you can take that back out to your team, to the classroom, to your family. Sacrifice.